What's up everybody and welcome to another episode of Raudeza Reviews. I'm Raudeza. Now, I debated on this for a while. I didn't want to make another entire video on Quantum Ass Clown TV, but we did get some pretty startling revelations. It's absolutely incredible. So, the man that started the war with the internet for his seemingly, well, let's just say it, really stupid take on Elden Ring, apparently never actually played the game or bought it. This is according to his wife. So this is not conjecture and this is not speculation. We now have confirmation that Quantum TV, for all of his bullshit, actually never played the game, which in my opinion as a reviewer really nullifies whatever stupid ass opinion he had in the first place. And even though he keeps saying that all of this is because of Elden Ring, it actually isn't, because if you didn't play the game to review it in the first place, your opinion means shit, my friend. I can't believe that people actually listen to this guy, knowing that he's a compulsive and just at this point chronic liar, and at the same time he's willing to just make up shit for the purposes of trying to gain clout or whatever the hell his thing is. You are a complete and utter bullshit artist, and now we have confirmation about this from your ex-wife, so there is no denying it at this point. Unbelievable. And again, I have to implore the people that are in his comment sections that follow him, you have to be a complete and utter fucking idiot at this point to still lend this man credibility. That's on you guys. I'm critical of this comment section because people cannot be this fucking stupid. It has to be willingly. I'm sure there's going to be a ton of new revelations. I just didn't want to do a whole video on this, so I ate up the intro for my own, and that's it, guys. I'm sure there's more to come. Anyways, let's get to the review. Today we're going to be reviewing Hot Toys' version of Batman Begins, the SideShow exclusive 1/6 scale figure. Let's take a closer look. Now, Batman Begins was not only the first of a refreshing and brand new take on the Dark Knight, but it also became a magnificent trilogy in my opinion. The Batman Begins costume is definitely one of my favorite. It's one of the more menacing ones, and I absolutely love it. Now, the head sculpt here is fantastic. I do have the quarter scale version of this, and basically this is just a much smaller version of that. A lot of quality here. I love the head sculpt. This is my favorite cowl. Just look at the brow, the eyes are fantastic, and definitely the mouthpiece. That is definitely Christian Bale. So overall, it's not a surprise to me that there's so much quality here because I already have the 1/4 scale. Now, the midsection here is really great, and really what I noticed about the 1/4 scale as opposed to the 1/6 scale is that the 1/6 scale's internal workings, meaning the body, is actually a lot more malleable and flexible, and the rubber suit around it is actually a little bit more pliable, which is fantastic. I think it's meant that way so you can do more dynamic poses, and you certainly see it here. Not too much changes in terms of the overall design of the costume. Again, it's a much smaller version of the 1/4 scale, but still really magnificently done. Not too many real changes in the lower section as well in terms of the overall costume, but I will notice, as opposed to the 1/4 scale on this one, the ball joint system is a lot more malleable, meaning you can really get some dynamic poses. Just look at the way that I'm angling the ankle on the left boot and on the right boot. I mean, it really is cool, guys, that we have this level of flexibility in this Batman suit. And I see how they did it. They were very clever in hiding some of the seams, and it works really well, dude. The stance here is fantastic. Now, Hot Toys had actually released this figure a couple of years ago, so you can really call this Batman Begins 1/6 scale 2.0. I love the reverse side of this piece. Again, this cowl is just so fantastic. I love how menacing it looks, even from the reverse profile. Now, one of the things that I think were critical on the first version, and again, I never owned it, was the cape. Fortunately, they took the style of what they did with the 1/4 scale and just applied it here, and I think they did a really great job. This cape is very malleable, and again, you can get some epic poses because of the way that they made it. Now, the base is pretty much standard at this point, and it has the standard nut grabber, and I think that Hot Toys is making these a little bit, how can I say, less invasive so that it doesn't damage the figure in the crotch area as time goes on. Now, I absolutely love this base because of the lithograph. It has that nice symbol of the Batman and the actual profile of the Batman in the corner. It does read Batman Begins. I love the color palette, and on the lip of the base it simply reads Batman. This thing is really cool and eye-popping. Exclusives are always a tricky thing unless I see some real value there, and in this case I do, because essentially you have a whole different figure. This is really awesome, guys. You get the hood that he wears before he officially dons the Batman costume, the harness, and of course the utility belt. And I think this style is really awesome, guys, just to see the evolution of what Bruce Wayne did year one before he got the official Batman Begins suit, which is awesome. But this is really cool, guys. I like this exclusive and I think it's totally worth it. That's why I went with this one. And if that wasn't enough to go with the harness and the ski mask and the utility belt, you also get an alternate head sculpt so that you can make that original year one Batman suit with the harness. I mean, this is just really nice, guys. The head sculpt is been perfected from the previous figure, from what I saw in the images. This is definitely Christian Bale. I absolutely love everything about this head sculpt. It's just really well done, guys, and really a testament to the evolution of Hot Toys and how they're making and sculpting their figures. Really cool alternate head sculpt. Now, this figure also comes with a decent amount of additional accessories. I think these mouthpieces are always really cool so that we can get those different expressions depending on the mood of the Batman that day. You get one with the mouth that's kind of closed, and then of course that always memeable expression that Christian Bale does in the Batman suit. I mean, it's funny, but I think it's cool that we get these accessories. The flesh tones are done perfectly, and the job in the overall sculpt is really great, guys. And the cool thing is they attach magnetically, so they're not a pain in the ass to inner swap. Then of course we get these really detailed batarangs, and I'm actually focusing really close in just so that you can see the detail and the level of craftsmanship. And again, the fact that they do so much detail on these kind of like additional accessories that most people don't pose their figures with unless, you know, they get really kind of like diorama-ish about the figures. It's just really cool and a testament to the quality, and in many ways it has to justify the price because this is not a cheap figure, guys. And finally, we get the little bat grenade, which is really cool. Again, I'm really zoomed in on this so that you can see the detail. Really fantastic. The color palette is cool, and I love the actual spikes on here. Looks like kind of like a porcupine. Really cool little accessory. Just be very careful when taking it out of the packaging. Again, you know how I am. I open these things and these little pieces go flying, so be very careful, guys. And of course, as always, rounding out the last bit of accessories are 4 additional hands for various poses, and they each have their own function, whether you want to hold the actual bat grenade, the batarang, or if you just want to do a dynamic pose, you certainly can do so. And I think that's really cool in terms of versatility. Some of you guys are really creative on how you pose these figures, and these additional accessories really help you out with that, guys. I've seen some collections that are absolutely magnificent and so lifelike. They really like curate them. It's really cool, guys. So we now have several iterations of the Batman Begins figure, beginning with the Interbay figure, which is, forget it, just astronomically priced at this point, to the NECA figure, which is still a budget-friendly Batman Begins figure and readily available, so, you know, you get what you pay for, but it's still a really good figure. The 1/6 scale original Hot Toys version, which is kind of expensive, but given the fact that they released this one, it's probably going to come down in price. This 2.0 version, and of course the Hot Toys 1/4 scale version. So a lot of versatility there, guys. Now, if you own the 1/4 scale, you don't necessarily have to run out and get this one, but if you want a little bit more flexibility and a little bit more diamonism in the poses, then definitely pick this one up. I actually like this figure because of how dynamic it is, and I'm going to pose it that way because I do have the 1/4 scale in a more stoic pose. So those are my thoughts on this figure, guys. It's a really great piece, but before I go, just want to thank the folks over at SideShow Collectibles. Their ambassadors are fantastic, and as always, they help me in getting these figures into the studio so that I can review them for you. Because unlike some con man fugazis out there who basically were living off of their wives, or ex-wives I should say, I actually review the things that I'm talking about on my show. Alright everybody, so that's my official review on the Hot Toys version of Batman Begins, the SideShow exclusive 1/6 scale figure. As always, I thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next Rauteza Reviews.